recording.
Recording is already going.
Okay.
We can send you that via WeTransfer.
Sure, Prabhu, sure.
Okay, we're live on YouTube. Welcome everyone to today's Bhagavatam class. Yesterday was Sharat Purnima, the first day of Karthik, and for today, Haripashad Prabhu is going to really launch us into the Damodara Lila today and tomorrow, actually. Haripashad Prabhu doesn't really need an introduction, but it's my honor and privilege to call him a friend and a guide. And he's someone who is in demand all over the world for different sanghas and different classes. He's a member of the Shastrik committee, the ISKCON Shastrik committee. He's consulted by senior devotees on scriptural matters all the time. And over and above his learned nature and his learned classes is the sweetness with which he speaks about Krishna. It just captivates the heart. So without any further ado, Haripashad Prabhu, let us dive into Damodara Lila.
Thank you so much, dear Yashoda Dulal Prabhu. I'm so happy that you listed my most important qualification, that I'm your friend, because otherwise the introduction will remain incomplete. I'm so happy to see all the wonderful devotees at the Bhakti Center. It's been more than 2 years that I have seen all of the wonderful devotees there. So I'm very happy. I hope that either I'll be able to see some of them in Karthik in Vrindavan Dham, or maybe, if Krishna allows, then I'll be able to visit Bhakti Center and I'll be able to meet all the wonderful devotees again. So thank you so much, Prabhu, for kindly inviting me here. It's an honor. By kindly extending an invitation, you have honored me. And it's a privilege to speak Shri Damodar Lila Katha in front of such a nice, like-minded audience. But there is Shisht Parampara. The Shisht Parampara, or the tradition established by the previous great acharyas, is to begin with Mangala Charan or auspicious invocations. So I will begin with Mangala Charan. Most of us know these verses, so you can kindly sing along with me. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namah Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Mithai Gaur Premanande, Hare Hare Bol. So once again, thank you very much, dear devotees, for kindly being present here today. It is said, Panchabhihi Sahastatavyam Gantavyam Panchabihi Sah. Panchabihi Sah Vaktavyam Na Dukkham Panchabihi Sah. Panchabihi Sah Sthathavyam. If we wish to stay at any place, stay with at least 5 people. Because if we have a disagreement or quarrel with one person, there are 4 other people that we can speak to. Gantavyam Panchabihi Sah. If we are traveling, let us travel with at least 5 people. Because if there is any threat to our security, there will be 5 people to protect us. Panchabihi Saha Vaktavyam. And if we wish to speak something, then there should be at least 5 devotees in the audience. Na Dukkham Panchabihi Saha. If at least 5 are there, then there is absolutely no unhappiness. But there are much more than 5. I think it's almost about to touch 20 devotees. So I'm very happy that all of you are here. And I have been invited to speak something on Damodara Lila. But there is also a verse of Srimad Bhagavatam which has to be read. So I will focus on the verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 18th. And from there on, we will read about Sri Damodar Lila. So the verse, I believe, is 26th and 27th. So this is the verse. I will read this verse. Vrushaparvatamagyaya Pratyanika Vivakshitam Gurum Prasadayan Murdhram Padayoh Patitah Pati. Synonyms. Vrishaparva, the king of the demons. Tam Agyaya, understanding the motive of Shukracharya. Pratyanika, some curse. Vivakshitam, desiring to speak. Gurum, his spiritual master. Shukracharya. Prasadayat, he satisfied immediately. Murdhana, with his head. Padayoh, at the feet. Patitah, fell down. Pati, on the road. Translation by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There is no purport to this verse, so only translation. King Vrushaparva understood that Shukracharya was coming to chastise or curse him. Consequently, before Shukracharya came to his house, Vrushaparva went out and fell down in the street at the feet of his guru and satisfied him, checking his wrath. Since there is no purport, we move ahead to the next verse. क्षणार्धमन्युर्भगवान् शिष्यं व्याचष्ट भार्गवः कामौस्यः क्रियतां राजन् नैनां त्यक्तुम् इहोत्सहे. Synonyms. Kshana Ardha, lasting only a few moments. Manyuhu, whose anger. Bhagavan, the most powerful. Shishyam, unto his disciple Vrishaparva. Vyachashta, said. Bhargavaha, Shukracharya, the descendant of Bhrigu. Kamaha, the desire. Asyaha, of this Devayani. Kriyatang, please fulfill. Rajan, O king. Na, not. Enam, this girl. Tyaktum, to give up. Iha, in this world. Utsahe, I am able. Translation. The powerful Shukracharya was angry for a few moments. But upon being satisfied, he said to Vrishaparva, my dear king, kindly fulfill the desire of Devayani. For she is my daughter, and in this world I cannot give her up or neglect her. Purport. Sometimes a great personality like Shukracharya cannot neglect sons and daughters. For sons and daughters are by nature dependent on their father, and the father has affection for them. Although Shukracharya knew that the quarrel between Devayani and Sharmishtha was childish, as Devyani's father, he had to side with his daughter. He did not like to do this, but he was obliged to because of affection. He plainly admitted that although he should not have asked the king for mercy for his daughter, because of affection, he could not avoid doing so. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So this was the verse and the purport. Basically, in the 9th canto, there is the pastime of Maharaj Yayati and his marriage to Devyani as well as Sharmishtha. And both Devyani and Sharmishtha are, they are born from different fathers. So there is some discussion going on between both of them. And Vrishaparva and Shukracharya are having a discussion. And that is what is being indicated here. So this series will also continue tomorrow. So we will continue to read from the 9th canto. We'll read 2 more verses tomorrow. But today, the most auspicious Karthik Mass has started. So this Karthik Mass is also known as Urja Mass, or sometimes it is known as Urja Vrata. Urja means power, radiance, and Vrata means vow. So some powerful vow is undertaken by devotees during this particular month. One of the vows which devotees take is to offer a lamb to Sri Damodara. And this term Urja Vrata or Urja Mas was used by Srila Prabhupada. So I would like to highlight in Srila Prabhupada's own words what is the importance of Urja Vrata. See, our presentation should always begin with something authoritative from Srila Prabhupada. Whenever we present some opinion, so we should not speculate mentally. We should always rely on the authority of the acharyas. So this term Urja Vrata is not coined by me. This term has been coined by the previous acharyas. And Srila Prabhupada speaks about it. So what does Srila Prabhupada say? Let's see. Srila Prabhupada Uvacha. One of the most important ceremonial functions is called Urja Vrata. Urja Vrata is observed in the month of Karthik, October, November, especially in Vrindavan. There is a specific program for temple worship of the Lord in his Damodar form. Damodar refers to Krishna's being bound with a rope by his mother, Yashoda. It is said that just as Lord Damodar is very dear to his devotees, so the month known as Damodar or Karthik is also very dear to them. A very sweet realization in the Nectar of Devotion, 12th chapter by Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada is saying that Karthik Mass, we celebrate what is known as Urja Vrata. So what should we do during this Urja Vrata? We should take some powerful Vrata, some Urja Vrata, some powerful vow. For example, some devotees decide that in Karthik Mass, instead of chanting 16 rounds, I will chant, let's say, 24 rounds or 32 rounds. Some devotees decide that in Karthik Mass, I will completely give up all milk products. So similarly, there are different vratas which we can accept in this month in order to make Karthik Mass Urja Mass, or a month filled with brilliant, radiant austerity for the sake of pleasing Krishna. So since it is starting today, we can also decide that we will take some vow. So it's not compulsory that everyone has to take a vow, because everyone takes a vow of offering a lamb every day. So that vow has already been taken. But besides that, if we want to take some additional vows, so we can do that by making a sankalpa or making a pledge. So how do we do that? So in front of the deity, we take some achman water in our hands, and while keeping that water in our hands, we say to the deity, "Oh Shri Shri Radha Murlidhar, today this most auspicious month of Karthik is commencing in front of you while holding this purified water which consists of all the holy rivers. Gange cha Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. This Achman water contains the waters of all the holy rivers Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, etc. So while holding all this purified water, I will not lie. I speak the truth. I take a vow that for 1 month I will give up milk products. Somebody can take a vow like this. So this is in front of the deity, one can take a sankalpa. And sankalpa is taken by, just as in a court of law, one takes a vow not to lie. But for that, one has to place his hands on a religious book. Similarly, in order to accept a vow in front of the deity, one has to take the purified waters, Achmanjal, in one's hand, and then one has to take a vow. So, some of us, if we feel inspired, we can take a vow during this month. This vow can be something very simple as, chanting one extra round. Or it can be something negative, like I will give up honey in this month, or I will give up milk in this month, something like that. So moving ahead, this month is Damodara Lila. We celebrate the entire Damodara Lila in this month. It's a very beautiful Lila which has been described in the 9th and 10th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. My aim is that in these 2 days I will try to cover Damodara Lila in as much detail as possible. And this Damodar Lila, it happened during this time, that is the time of Diwali. You see, all good pastimes, all good stories begin with one sentence. And what sentence is that? That sentence is once upon a time. So this is how our Damodar Lila began. So once upon a time, Srila Prabhupada translates, one day when Mother Yashoda saw that all the maid servants were engaged in other household affairs, she personally began to churn the yogurt. While churning, she remembered the childish activities of Krishna, and in her own way, she composed songs and enjoyed singing to herself about all those activities. So this is described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, also in the Krishna's book. In Krishna book also, Prabhupada describes it in the same way. That one specific day, all the maid servants were engaged. So the acharyas asked, why were all the maid servants engaged on that specific day? So the reason is that there was a big festival which was about to arrive. Today we celebrate that festival as Govardhan Puja. But previously they used to celebrate Indra Puja or worship of Indra. So Indra Puja was about to arrive. And if some of us have seen in a traditional village setting, when there is a festival, everybody becomes tremendously busy in carrying out all the household activities. So all the maid servants were engaged in household affairs, but Mother Yashoda had immense love for Krishna, and therefore she began to churn yogurt for Krishna with her own hands, and while she was doing so, she composed songs and enjoyed singing to herself about all of Krishna's activities. So this song that she sung has been specified by Srila Jiva Goswami in his Gopal Champu. So those devotees who are interested to know about this song, they can refer to Sri Gopal Champu, and there they will find a song which Mother Yashoda was singing as she was churning the yogurt. Now, as soon as that happened, you see, as soon as Mother Yashoda is singing, something was happening. Krishna was around, but Krishna was taking rest inside his room. So inside the house of Nanda Maharaj, inside the palace of Nanda Maharaj, Krishna was taking rest on his bed. And Mother Yashoda was outside, she was churning the yogurt. And because of her churning, the sweet sound of Mother Yashoda singing, as well as the sweet sound of the churning rod, it mixed together and it created a wonderful music for Krishna's ears. And Krishna suddenly woke up from his sleep, and with half open eyes, he was half asleep, but he tried to come outside. So this is how Krishna was. He was taking rest on the bed, but he woke up when he saw and he heard Mother Yashoda singing, and he tried to come there near Mother Yashoda. At this point of time, there is a Vaishnava poet. His name is unknown, but he composes a very beautiful verse to denote this particular situation. This verse is in front of us. I will try to sing and explain. Yannama par samsara paravaramati tarat shankate sakaralambi taritum pituranganam. So this devotee poet says, Yannama, whose holy names, apara samsara paravaram atitarat, atitarat, whose holy names have helped to cross the unlimited ocean of material existence. Krishna is he whose holy names have helped people cross over the ocean of material existence, which is limitless. Still, that Krishna, Shankate sa karalambi taritum pituranganam, that Krishna personally is becoming doubtful of his own capability to simply cross over his father's courtyard and go to Mother Yashoda. It's a very sweet, we can say it's a very sweet contradiction presented in the verse. His holy names are able to make people cross over the ocean of material existence, which is vast and limitless. But that very personality has doubts about his own capability to cross over Nanda Maharaj's courtyard and reach to Mother Yashoda. So this is the translation. That very personality whose divine names have delivered individuals across the limitless ocean of material existence now crawls on his two hands and doubts his own capability to cross over his father's courtyard. Still, Krishna somehow crossed over and went running into the lap of Mother Yashoda. And before he went running, what Krishna did is, Mother Yashoda was churning, and he immediately put his hand on the churning rod to stop the churning altogether. Now, this is a very risky thing to do because the churning rod is rotating at a very high speed. So, for a little child with soft hands to go and try to stop a churning rod is actually a very risky thing to do. But our Krishna was least worried about that. He went and he her.
Hare Parshad Prabhu, we can't hear you. Hare Krishna, we can't hear you.
Started singing. She Hare Krishna.
Yeah,
Hare
we
Krishna.
missed you for about a minute or so.
So should I start from this screen again, Prabhu?
Yeah, perhaps wouldn't be bad. Thank you.
Okay. So this was the previous verse which we were discussing. Krishna has doubts about his own capability to cross over his own father's courtyard, but somehow he crossed over. And instead of going to Mother Yashoda and requesting her, please stop, please give me some milk. Krishna is very bold in his nature, extremely bold. Doesn't care about all those formalities. Just went there and Krishna stopped the churning rod directly with his hands. It's a very risky thing to do because the churning rod rotates at a very high speed, very high speed. And for a child with soft hands to go and stop the churning rod directly, it's a very bold thing to do. But that is our Krishna. He was famous for making his parents' life very difficult by taking such risky steps in his childhood. So, in fact, it is described by Shukadeva Goswami that Krishna used to play with the bulls. Like Krishna would climb the bulls and hold their horns, and then Krishna would play with fire. And Krishna and Balram, sometimes they would enter into the water tank and then they would start shouting, "Please save us, we are drowning, please save us, we are drowning." And Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj would be terrified. Sometimes Nanda Maharaj would forget to lock his cupboard. So Krishna and Balram would take out swords from Nanda Maharaj's cupboard and would start fighting in front of the entire village. So all these things were going on. And sometimes, they would start putting their hands inside the mouth of a monkey and start counting the teeth of the monkey. How many teeth does the monkey have? So all these things were going on. And Acharyas say, please don't be surprised. There's a very wonderful devotee poet whose name is Sri Harisuri. He says, don't worry about this. Krishna is simply practicing his future pastimes. Because in the future, Krishna has to kill Arishtasur, the bull demon. Therefore, he is practicing with the bulls in his childhood. Krishna later has to swallow the forest fire. So he is learning how to play with fire in his childhood. Krishna has to fight with Kamsa using swords. So he is fighting with his own brother Balram with swords in his childhood. So all these are preparatory pastimes for what's going to happen in the future. But here Krishna has done something very bold and he has stopped the churning rod. And it's described in the Bhagavatam. While Mother Yashoda was churning butter, Lord Krishna, desiring to drink the milk of her breast, appeared before her. And in order to increase her transcendental pleasure, he caught hold of the churning rod and began to prevent her from churning. So at this point of time, since Krishna has stopped Mother Yashoda from churning, so the devotee poet Sri Harisuri was a very nice commentator in the 19th century. Srila Prabhupada named a disciple after him, Harisuri Prabhu. And his commentary is known as Bhakti Rasayanam. My Guru Maharaj, Sri Srimad Radha Govinda Das Goswami Maharaj, whenever he would speak on 10th canto, there was never a class when he would not mention Sri Harisur. It's a very sweet realization, and he has reasons for everything that Krishna has done in his pastimes. So Sri Harisuri says at this point of time that there is a reason that Krishna has come to Mother Yashoda. Please hear carefully, dear devotees. Please hear carefully. This is a very sweet realization by the devotee poet Sri Harisuri. This verse is in the meter Shardul Vikriditam, same meter as Shad Goswami Ashtakam. Tat samsriti karya jata samanushthane priya Shripate Lila nama gunanugana mamalam kuryad yadi premata Tadhardamritamaj grukshura param krityam vihayadarat tam Shri Shonu Saratya Bhudayamavi Praya Sputo Manthane. Shri Harisuri says, Tat samsriti karya jata samanusthane. This is samsar. There are two meanings of the term sansar, dear devotees. One meaning is the material world. One meaning is household. Household is also known as samsar. So in this samsar, on one side there is Mother Yashoda who has her samsar, who has her household. On the other side, it is we sadhakas who have our samsar, our material world. So Yashoda also has her samsar, her household, and we also have our samsar, our material world, our day-to-day activities. He says, Karya Jata. If we have begun the process of churning the three modes of nature, in this samsara that we are staying in. But Shripater, but if if we are singing Lila Nama Gunanu Gana Mamalam, if we are singing the name for qualities and pastimes of the Lord as we are churning our activities in our day-to-day life, Kuryad Yadi Prematah, if we lovingly sing his names, then Krishna also says something. What does Krishna say? Tadhardamritama jigrukshuraparam krityam. Then I will give up all other activities, Krishna says, and I will come. Yashoda Dulal Prabhu, I will come to drink your Hard Amrita. One meaning of Hard is heart, and Amrita means nectar. So I will come to drink the nectar which is there within your heart because you have such love for me. And in Mother Yashoda's case, it means Harda means breast and Amrita means nectar. So I will come to drink the nectar which is flowing from the breast of Mother Yashoda. And for this reason, Bhagavan Shri Krishna came to drink, actually he came to drink the Harda Amrita, the nectar of the heart, which was present in Mother Yashoda. On the pretext of drinking milk, he wanted to drink the rasa or the nectar that was present in Mother Yashoda's heart. So this is the translation. Even when the churning of worldly activities has already commenced in life, if a person dear to the Lord lovingly performs the repeated singing of the names, qualities, and pastimes of the Supreme Lord, then the Lord gives up all of his other activities and desiring to drink the Harda Amrita. Harda means heart, Amrita means nectar. Another meaning, Harda means breast, Amrita means milk. Of the devotee, the Lord comes running himself. This meaning was clearly expressed in this particular pastime of churning yogurt. So, dear devotees, every pastime has a life lesson, and we don't need to extract life lessons ourselves. The acharyas have done it for us. So, all the life lessons from Krishna's pastimes have been extracted by Sri Hari Suri in his work Bhakti Rasayanam. So, at that point of time, Mother Yashoda took him in his lap, and it's described in the Bhagavatam. Mother Yashoda then embraced Krishna, allowed him to sit down on her lap, and began to look upon the face of the Lord with great love and affection. Because of her intense affection, milk was flowing from her breast. So, although Acharyas describe, although Krishna was drinking milk from only one breast, but milk was spontaneously flowing from both breasts. And Kavi Karnapur says, our Krishna doesn't like even a little bit of milk wasted from Mother Yashoda. So when he saw that milk is being wasted, what he did is he rubbed his hand on the other breast of Mother Yashoda so as to wipe off the milk that is overflowing from the other breast. So Mother Yashoda thought, why is he caressing me on my breast? Maybe, he is showing some affection for me. She did not know that Krishna wanted to save all the milk, precious milk of his mother. So Mother Yashoda also, she started caressing Krishna on under his chin. And then Krishna smiled. When Krishna smiled, Kavi Karnapur says there were only 2 teeth visible, because at that point of time, Krishna had only 2 teeth. It's a very sweet pastime that took place here. So, Sri Jiva Goswami, in his Gopal Champu, now composes a beautiful verse. He is going to play on a word, and please, dear devotees, note this word and this verse very carefully. Payo varshati dharadhir varshavanmedurashriyah tasyah payodhare sushtu krishnaschatakatangataha. Please pay attention. Jiva Goswami says the payo, one milk of payo is milk, was flowing in streams from the payodhara. Payodhara means the container of milk, that is breast. Exactly. So the milk was flowing in streams from the breast, exactly as the payo. Another meaning of payo is water, that flows down in streams from the payodhara. So another meaning of payodhara is rain cloud. So payo has 2 meanings, milk and water. And payodhara is container of milk or container of water. So that can be breast or rain cloud. So the payo or the milk was flowing in streams from the payodhara, breast, exactly as the Paya, water that flows down in streams from the Payodhara, rain cloud. Seeing this Paya emanated from the Payodhara of Yashoda, Krishna too started behaving like a Chatak bird. Dear devotees, what's a Chatak bird? For those of us who may not be aware, Chataka is a special bird who doesn't drink water from any other water source. A Chatak is known as pied cuckoo, P-I-E-D, pied cuckoo. A pied cuckoo or a Chatak bird is famous for drinking water directly from the cloud. It drinks rainwater, and throughout the year it will remain thirsty, but it will not drink water from any source. It is attracted only to water from the Payodhara or the rain cloud. So Srila Jiva Goswami says Yashoda's breast was like Payodhara, or like the cloud, and Krishna took on the mood of a Chatak bird who will not drink the milk of any other cow, but he will drink only Mother Yashoda's milk. Krishna will prefer to stay thirsty at one point of time, but Krishna will not drink the milk of any other cow because Krishna is like a Chataka bird for Yashoda's Payodhara. So very sweet wordplay on Payodhara and very sweet imagery conveyed by Srila Jiva Goswami in his Gopal Champu. But you see, if every story continues in a straight line without any twists and turns, it will not be so interesting. Now, Shukdev Goswami could have narrated, yes, everything went well and Krishna was happy, Mother Yashoda was happy, and everyone lived happily ever after, and end of story. But that's not how it's going to happen. There is going to be a twist in the plot, and that twist in the plot is described by Srila Shukdev Goswami in the Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is described that when Mother Yashoda saw that the milk pan on the oven was boiling over, she immediately left her son to take care of the overflowing milk. Although the child was not yet fully satisfied with drinking the milk of his mother's breast. So, dear devotees, this is that famous point wherein there is going to be a twist in the pastime, and the twist in the pastime is that Mother Yashoda is going to leave Krishna dissatisfied. Although Krishna is Atmaram, Atmaram means he is fully self-satisfied, but Mother Yashoda has the capability to make even Atmaram dissatisfied, to make even the self-satisfied Lord completely dissatisfied. So Mother Yashoda left him because she saw that the milk on the milk pan inside the kitchen was boiling over. Dear devotees, we can imagine that something like this must have happened at this point of time. So all of us can see what happens when milk boils over. And at this point of time, in many classes over the years, we might have heard a reason for why milk was boiling over. So this reason has been quoted many times as to why the milk was boiling over. But it is very rarely mentioned that who was the particular personality who wrote the realization for the boiling of the milk. So actually, we might have heard many times that the milk was thinking that if, Krishna is drinking Mother Yashoda's breast milk, then my life is useless. So therefore, let me commit suicide by jumping into the fire. Thinking like this, the milk decided to commit suicide by jumping into the fire. So this realization we might have heard many times, but this realization originally came from Sri Harisuri, who wrote it in his Bhakti Rasayanam. A question might be asked, how can the milk think? Can an inanimate object ever think in Krishna Lila? So is it possible that the milk can also think? And the answer is yes, because all objects in Krishna Lila are Chinmaya, or they are completely spiritual in nature. You see, even the rope which will bind Damodara is spiritual in nature. And therefore, when we sing Damodar Ashtakam, we say in the last verse, Namaste stu damne, obeisances to the rope. But why should we pay obeisances to the rope if it's a dead object? So obviously, no object in Krishna Lila is a dead object. They are all conscious entities who know what is happening. So when the milk started falling into the fire, Sri Hari Suri says that the milk had committed suicide. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, please wait. Before you go to that realization, I want to say something. Doesn't it sound very odd that Mother Yashoda, she gave up her dear Krishna for a little bit of milk that was boiling over? Doesn't it sound odd and strange? But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says there's nothing strange about this. And he gives a very sweet reason. So this verse is composed by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, wherein he explains the reason as to why Mother Yashoda left Krishna dissatisfied in order to save the milk. So he says, Tad bhakshavastun yaya punah sopi sametyupekshatan premno vichitra paripatyudirita bodhya tatha premavati virevaya. So he says, Tad bhakshavastun in taking care of all foodstuffs belonging to Krishna, all the foodstuffs which belong to Krishna, the dear devotee shows such special care that sometimes even Krishna himself becomes neglected. So the foodstuffs which are dear to Krishna, these foodstuffs are more dear to the devotees, sometimes than even Krishna himself, because all these foodstuffs are meant for the pleasure of Krishna. So devotees sometimes take such good care of these foodstuffs that sometimes even Krishna himself becomes neglected. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says nothing surprising. Premno vichitra paripati udhirita. This is the vichitra paripati. This is the wonderful way of love. Bodhya tatha premavati bhirevaya. And these ways of love are expressed only by the loving devotees. Only by the loving devotees. So this is how it is. So dear devotees, for this reason, Mother Yashoda left Krishna even though he felt dissatisfied, but she saved the milk from boiling over. So Sri Hari Suri says this is the famous realization that milk had committed suicide. This is the verse that he composes. Yannam smritirapyalam vidhunute santapamasya prabhor agre tapamupaimi tadhigiti mam matvagniyane paya udyuktam bhavatityaveksh harina सर्वेश्वरेणैव तत् सत्यानन्द यशोदयक्षितमिहा कारयति मन्यामहे. Sri Hari Suri says the milk was thinking, Yannama smritirapyalam vidhunute. Even the name of Krishna is able to remove all the burning sensation of the material world. Forget about Krishna, even Krishna's names are able to remove all the burning sensation of this world. But agre tapamupaimi. But see the paradox. Forget about Krishna's name, Krishna himself is present here. But in front of him, I am still boiling in this heat. Tadhigiti mam. Krishna is not drinking me, Krishna is drinking his mother's breast milk. Fie upon my existence. Matvagniyane payah. Thinking like this, the milk decided that I will commit suicide by jumping into the fire. Udyuktam bhavati tyaveksha harina. Krishna saw that my dear devotee milk is about to commit suicide. Sarveshwarena ivatat. He's Sarveshwar, he's the Lord of everyone. Therefore, Satyananda Yashodayekshitamihakari iti manyamahe. Therefore, Krishna arranged that Mother Yashoda's attention should be diverted towards the milk so that she can save Krishna's dear devotee who was contemplating suicide at that point of time. This is the translation. The boiling milk thought, Here is the Lord, by remembering whose name all the burning heat of this material world is driven away. Yet I am the only one who is still burning in his personal presence. Fire upon me and my existence. Seeing that the milk was thinking in this way and contemplating suicide by jumping into the fire, the Lord made arrangements for Yashoda, the personification of truth and joy, to see that spilling milk. So this is the reason why the milk started boiling over. But when Mother Yashoda left him, Krishna became very angry and dissatisfied. Very dissatisfied. It is described that being very angry and biting his reddish lips with his teeth, Krishna, with false tears in his eyes, broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone. Then he entered a room and began to eat the freshly churned butter in a solitary place. See, dear devotees, the wonderful nature of Vrindavan. Outside Vrindavan, Krishna will never become so angry that he will start biting his own lower lip. Here, God himself is so angry that he has started hurting himself. And Krishna, with false tears in his eyes, he broke the container of yogurt with a piece of stone. Then Krishna became so afraid because he thought he must have committed some aparadh or he must have done something wrong, and Mother Yashoda will be very angry at him. Therefore, he ran away from there. He entered a room and began to eat the freshly churned butter in a solitary place. So that's what Krishna was doing. Krishna was at this point of time very afraid of Mother Yashoda. Dear devotees, he is described as Ugram Viram Mahavishnu. We know what is Ugram Viram Mahavishnu. But look at this Krishna. Does he look Ugram, fierce, or does he look unugram, very, very childish? So he looks unugram. Does he look Viram, brave, or does he look aviram, like a coward? He has run away. But dear devotees, he is aviram. He cannot he may be able to face big demons, and he may be able to, he may be able to tolerate their beatings on his chest. He may be able to tolerate the arrows thrown by Bhishma. But Krishna ran away from Mother Yashoda. Dear devotees, that which even Bhishma could not accomplish in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, Mother Yashoda accomplished in Sri Dham Vrindavan. So, aviram. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yuddhe chapya palayanam. The duty of a Kshatriya is to never run away, never show his back. And this Krishna is born to a Kshatriya himself, to Vasudeva and Devaki. Vasudeva and Devaki are both Kshatriyas. So Krishna, we can ask Krishna at this point of time, what happened to your own instruction in Bhagavad Gita? You are saying in the Bhagavad Gita that one of the duties of a Kshatriya is to never show your back in fear, never to run away. But Krishna, in your own life, what have you done? Actually, you are not the ideal practitioner of your own literature. If you try to practice Bhagavad Gita, you will fail miserably. Therefore, it is best that you do not become the Acharya of Bhagavad Gita. In order to show Bhagavad Gita in practice, you will have to come in another form. In order to show how Bhagavad Gita is practiced, you will have to come as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You will have to show everyone how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his incarnation as a devotee, is the perfect personification of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna, in a solitary place, started eating butter. At this point of time, Sri Hari Suri says, Krishna is teaching us something. Please note one thing. Please, let's go back to the previous slide. He entered the room and began to eat the freshly churned butter. The Mother Yashoda was churning yogurt, and the essence of that is butter. So the sar means essence. In Sanskrit, the term sar is essence. So the sar of the yogurt is the butter. So Krishna entered into the room and he started eating the sar, the essence of the yogurt. So Sri Harisuri says at this point of time, a very important life lesson he gives. He says, Vipuleshvapi Satsuraseshvanveshtavyo Manishina Sara Samsaronvartha Syat Tadeti Navanita Sangraha Dhvanitam Tadeti Navanita Sangraha Dhvanitam. He says, Vipuleshu api satsu raseshu. There might be many rasas in this world. Rasa has two meanings. One meaning is happiness. Another meaning is milk products. So when it comes to Krishna, it means milk products. When it comes to us, it means happiness, varieties of happiness. So there may be many rasas in this world. But anveshtavyo manishina, but an intelligent person always looks for the sar, looks for the essence of all rasas. So in Krishna's world, this means the butter, because butter is the sar, the essence of all the milk products. And in our world, the essence of all happiness is bhakti. So we should look for the most essential rasa, that is bhakti rasa. That is the sar of all the rasas, that is the essence of all the rasas in this world. So just as Krishna looked for the sar, the essence of all the milk products, we should also look for sar, or the essence of all happiness in this world. Sri Harisuri says, samsaron vartham syad. Then we can say that we lived in samsar. Samsar means material world, but he's playing again, because samsar means samyak sar, from which you have extracted the complete essence. Then you can say that I lived in samsar because I was able to extract some complete sar from this world. Therefore, I can say I truly lived in samsar. Anvarthasya. Tadeti navanita sangrahat nitam. This is what is indicated by Krishna by extracting butter and eating it in a solitary place. So, dear devotees, the life lesson is, in this life, in this world, samsar, there are many rasas. There is a rasa of movies, there is a rasa of watching sports, or there is a rasa of, all these variegated rasas are there. But an intelligent person looks for the sar, or the essence of all happiness. And what is that essence? That is bhakti rasa. That is devotional mellows. Then you can say that you truly lived in samsara, because you extracted some or complete sara essence from this world. Then you can say that you lived in samsara, or this material world. So this is the translation. Although there may be many rasas in this world, an intelligent person should search only after the complete, some essence, sara. Only then can he make the world, samsara, live up to its name. This is the indication here. So, dear devotees, in this way, Krishna finally is hiding in a solitary place. And at this point of time, I would like to pause for today, because this katha has to continue tomorrow. And we have to see how Krishna will distribute all this essence to the monkeys. All the monkeys, there will be a maha feast for all the monkeys. And the devotee poet, Sri Harisuri, will say, obviously, there has to be a big feast for the monkeys. Why should there be a big feast for the monkeys? He says, because Krishna, in his previous incarnation as Lord Ram, he took so much service from the monkeys, but did not give them anything in return. So in this life, in this incarnation, Krishna is feeding them samsar, the essence of all nectar, in the form of butter. So this we will see tomorrow. This is the end of part 1 today. I will end with a statement by Srila Prabhupada. Very important statement, dear devotees. I began with Srila Prabhupada's statement. I'm ending with a Prabhupada statement. Please listen carefully to what Prabhupada says. A sincere devotee. Please raise your hands. How many of us want to become sincere devotees? I want to become a sincere devotee. Prabhupada says, therefore must be prepared to hear the Vedic literature, like Upanishads, Vedanta, and other literature left by the previous authorities or Goswamis, for the benefit of his progress. Without hearing such literature, one cannot make actual advancement, actual progress. And without hearing and following the instructions, the show of devotional service becomes worthless and therefore a sort of disturbance in the path of devotional service. Prabhupada is very clear. Please study the books very thoroughly. One of the lamentations that Prabhupada had was that I have written so many books, my disciples don't read my books. My disciples don't read my books. Dear devotees, whenever we get some time, we should always open a Prabhupada book, spend at least half an hour with Prabhupada's books, make them our good friends in this world, because that is the sure path to progress. And that is the sure path to ensuring, as Prabhupada says here, that our devotional service does not become worthless and a disturbance. Our devotional service should not become a disturbance in the path of our own devotional service, Prabhupada is saying. So when does that happen? When a person becomes completely hollow within his heart because he is not following the instructions left by the previous acharyas. So once again, I'm very thankful to Yashoda Dulal Prabhu, to all the devotees at Bhakti Center for kindly inviting me here today for the first part of Sri Damodara Lila. Tomorrow we will be continuing, and tomorrow will be the second part or the final part. Actually, it's a 3-part presentation, but I've shortened it into 2 parts, and I'm trying to present it today as well as tomorrow. I'm very thankful that all of you kindly listened to what I had to say, and I will end with a very small verse. Yadatra skalitam kinchit vidvam saha purayantu tat. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit tad guroreva me nahi. Yadatra skalitam kinchit. It is possible that I might have made many mistakes in my presentation. But vidvam saha, you are all learned devotees. Purayantu tat. Please, with folded hands I say, please complete whatever I have missed out. Yadatra saushthavam kinchit. If you liked anything, if anything was nice, if you found it to be nice, please do not forget. Tad guru reva me nahi. It belongs only to my Gurujanas. None of it belongs to me. Thank you very much, dear devotees. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hari Parshad Prabhu. That was so sweet. Best start to Karthik that I can think of. I think Venkata Bhatta Prabhu had a question. And I see Athena's raised her hand. I myself have to drop in like a couple of minutes to attend a work meeting. But please carry on. Anand Bihari Prabhu will be here. Venkata, you want to go first?
Sure. Hare
I think you might be in a bad cell phone zone.
hear me?
No, your voice is breaking up, Venkata Prabhu.
Venkata Prabhu, type your question in the chat box if you can. We'll read it.
Okay, in the meantime, we can maybe go to Athena quickly and then come back to Venkata Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, thank you so much. I have 2 questions, but I'll just ask one. Thank you so much, Hari Prashad Prabhu, for such a lovely session. It's always so nourishing. I apologize if this is a bit of a rudimentary question, but this is overall about Karthik and this Damodara Lila. We know that this Lila specifically is around the rope, Krishna seeing the butter, Mother Yashoda. So I don't understand that relationship with why this is Radharani's month. How does this Leela have anything to do with that this is the month of Radharani? And then from a, I guess, historical point of view, Karthik and again, celebrating this Leela, when did it actually start? Because it doesn't sound like it's a specific Vedic like injunction or in the Vedas, because it's a Leela. So did it start the year after it happened when Krishna was 3 or 4 or 5 and it kept going? So when did it actually get instituted and how did it get started? Maybe it's, thank you.
Thank you so much, Athena, for asking this wonderful question. In fact, by asking this question, I feel that today's presentation will be successful, because this is a very interesting question as to why exactly is the month of Karthik associated with Srimati Radharani if the entire pastime is centered around Mother Yashoda. So Srila Jiva Goswami answers this question in a book named Radha Krishna Archana Deepika. It's a very rare book, but it answers the precise question that you are asking. Srila Jiva Goswami says, this pastime of Krishna becoming Damodar originally occurred in the spiritual world before Krishna appeared in this world. And originally this pastime occurred with Srimati Radharani. So this pastime is described by Srila Jiva Goswami, and that Damodar is called Nivi Damodar. Nivi means he is tied to Srimati Radharani's waist belt. So what is the exact pastime? In the spiritual world before Krishna appeared here in the material world, on one particular day, Srimati Radharani told Krishna that, Krishna, tomorrow you come to meet me in the evening at this designated spot. In Sanskrit, a designated spot is known as Sanket. So you come and meet me at this Sanket, at this designated spot. So Krishna, he was following, Indian Standard Time. He came 2 hours late. So next day when Krishna was 2 hours late, Srimati Radharani became very angry. And when she became very angry, it is described in one of the verses. She tied him to a tree. This is the only painting of Srimati Radharani tying Krishna to a tree. And this verse is describing Tasmin dine cha Bhagavan ratrau radha griham yayau sa cha kruddha tamudare kanchi damna babandha Krishnastu sarvamavedya nijageha mahotsavam priyam prasadayamasa tatah sa tamavochayat. So Tasmin dine cha Bhagavan ratrau radha griham yayau. That day Krishna went very late at night to meet Srimati Radharani. Sa cha kruddha, she became lovingly angry upon him. Tam udare kanchi damna baba, and she tied him around a tree with, her golden girdle belt. So Krishna's to sarvam avete, Krishna folded his hands in front of her, surrendered to her and said, please forgive me. There was a big festival in my home, because every year during this time they are celebrating some puja. There is Diwali. So many activities at home. Please forgive me. I got busy. I couldn't come to meet you. And he spoke many sweet words to Srimati Radharani. Priyam prasadayamasa. He consoled her. He spoke many sweet words to her. Tatah sa tam amochayat. And then she let him go. So when that happened, Jiva Goswami says Krishna experienced that his hair were standing on end. Krishna said, today you have given me a beautiful name. This name is Damodar. Dama means rope. Udara means stomach. So rope is on whose stomach, or dam is on whose udara, is known as Dam Udara or Damodara. So Krishna said, this name is very dear to me, but when I appear next time in the world, I will perform this pastime, but not with you. For people in general, I will perform this pastime with Mother Yashoda. So Srila Jiva Goswami has explained this secret to all of us. And even today, if we go during Karthik month to Shri Shri Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan, Shri Jiva Goswami's temple, we will see that in the month of Karthik, they tie Srimati Radharani's waist to Krishna's waist using a golden belt. So that is the original pastime. And that pastime was celebrated here with Mother Yashoda. And when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in this world, he asked his disciples, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, to compile Vaishnav literature. One of the literature was Hari Bhakti Vilas, compiled by Sri Gopal Bhatt Goswami and Sri Sanatan Goswami. And in that, they described in detail the observance of the Karthik festival. And from that time onwards, it started in this world. So I hope that answers your question to some degree of satisfaction. Hare Krishna.
Yes, thank you so much. That was so perfectly answered. Thank you. Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Parshad Prabhu. We will see you tomorrow morning for part
Yes.
2. Can't wait. Venkata Prabhu is going to ask tomorrow.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you. Thank you so much once again. Thank you to all the dear devotees. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Hare Parshad Prabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.